Hey traders, welcome to a crypto market update. We're going to be focusing mainly on the crypto market for this video, not really going to be talking about really commodities or equities or anything like that. So like always, we're going to start off with BTC and then move on to the different tools that we used to analyze the altcoin market. And then we're going to jump into Ethereum, XRP, because Ethereum did really well, XRP did really well. Fortunately, didn't really see the move on XRP. It was a really sudden jolt to the upside, but we'll definitely take a look at that a little bit later in the video. So first, this is BTC on the weekly chart. Obviously, we're making strong higher highs and higher lows. Not a whole lot more to see. We do see a slight pullback here, but obviously with the just new week started, or about to start, there's not much trading volume going on. So the next major really level of resistance is going to be around 20K, that previous all-time high that we hit back in 2017. And it does like we're still roaring up there, creating strong higher highs and higher lows. And we'll look at that in the smaller time frames. Just want to notice the strong buy pressure and accumulating buy pressure that's occurring within the volume here on the bottom of the chart. So just wanted to explain that here. So now zooming on to the daily chart, we see strong pushes to the upside, lots of buy pressure compared to the sell pressure, indicating volume accumulation still occurring. Great to see overall. And then we can see kind of a similar structure that we had within the two patterns here. Let's look at the brush, which is this guy right here. So we saw a lot of hesitancy to make the price go above the around 16K zone. Once we saw the price break, we saw a nice pullback to validate the 16K zone, and then we saw this surge in buy pressure coming into the market. So in my opinion, we're kind of seeing the same thing right now. Let's just close these off right here. And we can see the strong push to the upside breaking above around 18,000. And I was going to say 16,000, not 1,600. So we see it broke above around $18,000, and now we're holding it as a new level of support. We see this nice wick to the downside, indicating buy pressure coming in and pushing the price up, closing the major candle on the daily above this previous resistance zone. So in terms of market structure, it's still forming higher highs and higher lows. This is a higher low in the bullish market structure in my personal view. So on the daily, there's no real point of looking to not long or even looking at shorts. It just does not make sense at this moment. You are fighting a train that is steaming and probably going to roll you over if you're looking for shorts at this point in time. So looking from the daily now to the 6-hour chart, we did get a little bit of a pullback, which is a little bit more significant than we'd liked. But if we get the brush again, we do see that these lows and these higher lows are still holding. So overall, we are still looking very solid. We see this descending zone turning into a new level of support. So what I currently see right now within the market structure is a descending channel, which can also be called a bull flag. We see a nice impulsive push breaking a major level of resistance right here, and then we are now seeing a pullback validating that previous zone. It did see a piercing of that support, but the buyers were able to come right back and pick the price back above that support. So overall, as long as we're holding these higher lows and the squeeze is continuing within the symmetrical triangle here, it's looking pretty good. And ideally what we're looking for is an impulsive push breaking out of the symmetrical triangle, and then we're going to see a nice consolidation above this previous resistance, which is going to be acting as a new level of support. And that is where we're going to be looking for our type A or type B candle closures. We're going to see either a wick bounce off and go right back above, or a candle closure on a major time frame like a 6-hour, 4-hour. That's the type of stuff that we're looking for in order to validate and confirm that buyers are again in the market to push the price up. So as of right now, oops, just did a little drawing there. As of right now, we don't really see a prime opportunity. We see a squeeze occurring within the market, which is a great setup that we have in edge trading, but we just have to have the patience to really make sure that we have the highest confirmation before really taking any action within this market. So that's going to be BTC. Like I said, a little bit of patience I think is needed for Bitcoin, but we're going to get into the other alts that, in my opinion, look really, really prime. Link is another one that we'll talk about a little bit later. So the next thing we're going to look at is the actual altcoin market cap. We do see that it broke this around 120 billion in market cap, and once we broke above that zone, that was the confirmation that the overall consolidation that we've been in for 2 years is now complete. Similar to the $1,400 zone on gold, similar to, let's say, the 10K zone on BTC that that broke the price to 18K, like an 80% increase. This is the bull market that we're looking for altcoins, in my personal opinion. And we'll look at specific altcoins a little bit later in the video. But in terms of where we currently are within the overall market cap, we saw a major break, like I said, above 110, 112 billion. We saw a pullback and a very, very long drawn out consolidation. And now the overall interest and impulse pushes in the altcoins is really starting to take shape, in my personal opinion. So we can see major bullish push breaking above that recent high there, and the overall trend is going to continue. We saw a very long drawn out consolidation of over, let's get this, of over 80 days, right? Almost 3 months. That's pretty substantial for a contraction, and I think we're going to get our expansion phase here for the altcoins. So in my personal opinion, we are going to be looking at altcoins a little bit more so than BTC right now. I think Bitcoin is still looking bullish, but some of these alts that we're going to be looking at, have the wind against their back because the altcoin market is expanding. If the market dominance, which we'll get into right now for Bitcoin, drops, that's going to be a situation in an environment where we really want to be looking at altcoins. Because if Bitcoin's dominance is dropping, similar to what we had in 2017, and the altcoin market in general overall is moving to the upside in terms of the market cap, that means there's more speculation in the market. People are willing to put their money and invest in less stable but more leverageable or higher ROI potential opportunities that altcoins provide compared to Bitcoin. Kind of like if you are investing in silver instead of gold. Usually in gold bull runs, silver appreciates at a greater rate and faster than gold. Doesn't mean that gold's not bullish, just means that silver is going to provide a higher ROI in terms of percentages. So that's why people like to look at altcoins, because they think that they're getting in on the first or second floor instead of like floor 10 on a building as you would invest in BTC, kind of in the novice trader or investor's head. So we do have to keep track of the dominance, and we do see a nice descending zone connecting the lower highs. We see resistance, lower high, and lower high. So there are kind of two options that we're going to be playing out here. We see a descending zone right here and a horizontal zone. This is creating our descending triangle formation, and the first option is for the overall dominance to fall. And this would mean, in my opinion, that the overall crypto market is in a bull market, because people are only going to speculate on smaller cap coins when there is wind against their back, when they're feeling optimistic, when they're feeling hopeful, and when they're feeling like they want to take more of a risk, right? You're not going to have that in a fearful market when people are losing money. You're going to have that in a bullish market. So firstly, that's going to be the first option, and we do need to see a validation of a break below the previous low, which is around 57%. We're currently at 64% in terms of the market cap dominance for Bitcoin. So that's going to be option number one. Option number two is going to be a break in the dominance to the upside. This would be if altcoins are stagnating and consolidating while Bitcoin is moving to the upside. So we do see a pretty well-respected zone here, but I think we could see a tighter contraction before we have the market make up its mind. So we're going to stay patient. We already see the altcoin market start to move to the upside on the previous chart we looked at, and this chart does not give us a whole lot of information to work with instead of actionable items, but at the end of the day, we see a contraction, and I'd ideally like to see the BTC dominance start to fall, breaking 58, because that means that there's more speculation, more hope, more optimism in the market, and that's going to drive prices higher. So that's going to be the dominance. Let's now quickly look at some alts here. So we kind of went over BTC, the altcoin market, as well as the BTC dominance chart. We're not really going to look at BLX, which is the long-term time frame, because not a whole lot to go over. We're now going to go into the altcoins, probably the favorite part for a lot of people. I'm just going to open up BTC here really quickly so I can see it on a small time frame. And there's that squeeze for Bitcoin, that symmetrical triangle that we're going to be looking at for anyone who is watching the Discord right now. All right, let's open it up. First thing we can see is NEO. We've been talking about NEO being a potential opportunity because we see such a well-respected descending wedge on top of a double top completion, or double bottom completion, sorry, the double bottom completion. So when we go to the weekly chart, what do we see? A nice double bottom with a break above a major level of resistance, and now we're getting a pullback to validate that previous resistance as a new level of support, and we see very, very key level of confluence that we're seeing hold right now, and I think it's NEO's time for an impulsive move. We haven't seen NEO really push up compared to things like XRP, even compared to things like Ethereum, but I think this is an opportunity that will have some potential solid risk reward possibilities. So looks like right now we're able to hold this zone. Why I think right now is an important time more than ever is because we've been able to break out of this consolidation zone. Let's just get the brush. This consolidation zone right here was unable to pass around $17. Now that we've been able to pass it, we're holding as a new level of support at that $17 zone. So overall, it's looking pretty good. The market structure is shifting. You could classify that as an ascending triangle formation. So overall, this is a bullish structure, and this is a push breaking the around $15 zone, which is a major level of significance. We saw a pullback, which has been nice and slow, validating that $15 zone as a new level of support. And this is going to be the new trend, which is going to be the continuation of the impulsive push, breaking that $15 zone right there. So in terms of market structure, in terms of the overall perspective, looking back at the weekly, daily, 12-hour, it's looking phenomenal. Now when we're jumping into the 4-hour chart, we see not only one validation, but two validations for a level of support. We see the zone of confluence, which would be right around here, where we see this horizontal zone and this descending zone break right around here. Once we saw that break, that's a confirmation of a shift in trend. So in my opinion, NEO is looking pretty darn good for a potential move to the upside. Not a whole lot needs to happen for us to enter. It's looking great. It's in a good situation right now for a possible entry in terms of the overall environment in the crypto market. BTC is holding, Ethereum is doing well, XRP is doing well. We see some level of relative strength in NEO compared to a lot of different alts as well within the recent price action. So overall, that's looking good, and that's my overall analysis. I think it's going to be a really good opportunity. Why I chose $23 for a potential first take profit is this zone right here, right? The geometry of the wedge creates our first potential target. So why did I choose that specific spot? I'm looking for that geometric target as well as zones that have been major levels of significance in the past. So we saw resistance right here, turn to support, turn back into resistance. This still has a 4-to-1 risk reward. So I'm very okay with taking a 4-to-1 risk reward in a situation like this because the payout is just so much greater than, for example, someone taking 2-to-1 or even less. I would never really take anything under 2, but at the end of the day, 4-to-1s are really great. I'd be willing to take this because of the high probable situation that the overall trend will continue, giving enough room for the stop loss for a little bit of bounce if it actually does pull back a little bit. So overall, NEO does look pretty good, and that's going to be my trade for an alt, not counting Ethereum, which was earlier in this week for a trade. So next thing we're going to look at is Ethereum. Why do we think Ethereum is such a good opportunity? $300 zone is a major level of resistance, double bottom. We saw a break above the $300 zone, and this is a pullback with a very tight consolidation right above the $300 zone, validating it for a new level of support. And then this is our first impulsive push after the break of the $300 zone. This is the play out of the NEO trade that we're seeing right now. We hope that NEO will have a similar outcome that Ethereum is currently seeing right now within its price action. So what we were looking at within kind of last week, this week, was this triangle, this ascending triangle, which is going to break 480. We made TikToks about it. We made Discord posts about it. We made YouTube videos about it. We really tried to explain and yell at the top of our lungs on the top of a mountain that Ethereum is a good opportunity above 480. Where is it right now? It's at 460. It hit 480. Definitely something that you do not want to miss out at is going to be an Ethereum opportunity in the near future if you have not already had a long opportunity placed or have investments in Ethereum. I think it's one of the best alts to be in right now, just because the dominance is moving to the downside. We're seeing the overall crypto market in terms of the altcoins expand, and Ethereum is going to be really something that has solid history, very strong relative strength. A lot of people know about it. Tons of projects are built on Ethereum, so it has real world application, and overall it's just a great project with a lot of people behind it. So it stood close to the test of time. It's the second alt in market cap, and a lot of good things about it for sure. Price action is stellar. It looks awesome. It looks super bullish. Lots of buy pressure. Couldn't really explain more to you why it's a good opportunity during this 470, 480 retest. So hopefully some people were able to take that opportunity and have some pretty solid profits, because it's up a significant amount already. Even if you're unleveraged, you're making 15, 17%. If you're leveraged, 2, 3 times that, right? So obviously these are some good opportunities. Not going to happen every single time, but definitely, especially when we're in bull markets and we're looking for continuation patterns, the overall win-loss increases when we're in consolidations. When we're in stagnating markets, the win-loss is somewhat reduced to some degree. If it's a nice trending channel, that's a good opportunity, but it can get a little bit choppy. But when you have these nice bullish opportunities where continuation patterns is all you're looking for, it can become easier to get a solid win-loss, in my personal opinion. So anyways, that's going to be my tip for looking for continuation patterns. Look for very bullish markets in pairs, really. So that's going to be Ethereum. Quick look at Link, and then we're going to end off with XRP. So we see a nice bullish push, pushing above this previous resistance at around $13. Looks really solid in my personal opinion, Chainlink. And the next level of potential resistance is going to be $27 just with the geometry. This is its all-time high. We've been really tracking and saying Link is very bullish. Link has been the most, the strongest coin relative to its peers that we've ever seen, by far. And we have tools in order to understand relative strength. Chainlink has been near the top or at the very top week after week, month after month, for really years, since the consolidation and the bear market, since kind of 2017, 2018, Link has stood up better than most alts, including Bitcoin. So why not look at relatively strong pairs? It just doesn't make sense why you wouldn't, right? Continue the overall trend. And Chainlink has been very bullish, and I think it will continue. It's looking like a really good position right now, breaking above $14. I think the next potential opportunity is really close, maybe even right now. Depends on how you are looking to enter. You could put a stop entry above the previous high. You could put a limit order to retest that previous resistance as a new level of support. But overall, the entry is up to you. The stop loss could be the previous low, and then the next take profit is around $27, $26 for my trade on Link. So, last thing, I don't have a trade on XRP just because right now it had a massive impulsive push. I personally don't really want to do anything because you're really entering at a high. Yes, there's massive bullish incentive too, because you see so much buy pressure coming in. You see all the bulls charging into this pair in this market. But this is the squeeze. Ideally, you're looking to get in above 27-ish, 27 cents, and around here was where you wanted to get entered, really, ideally. That's what we're talking about Neo, that's what we're talking about with Ethereum, that's what we're talking about with Link. Link looks very similar, right? You see a nice ascending zone, you see a squeeze and a symmetrical triangle contracting the volatility. Once you see the break in the confluent zone, with the horizontal zone and the descending zone coming together at one point, once you see the price break that zone and validate it for a new level of support, that's going to be the time to enter, right? That is the structure. What do we see on Chainlink right now? A long-term ascending zone connecting the higher lows. We see a symmetrical triangle, and then you see the price break above the zone of confluence, and now you're seeing the previous resistance and confluence of the resistance of the descending trend line get used as a new level of support. So, very, very similar structure, right, in terms of the price action. But Chainlink has not broken out to the strong push yet. We can see that's the push we're looking for, around $15 to $27. Sounds pretty insane. Yeah, it's like 80%, but these moves happen, right? BTC went up 80% after it broke 10K. It went to $18,000, right? These things happen. Alts are going to be moving at a quicker and faster rate than BTC on average. So we got to understand that there's some awesome opportunities here in the market. Looking at XRP, that already happened. We want to see Chainlink have that similar structure, right? That similar play out. So in terms of where XRP could go, that 30-cent zone is a major level. Looking at the weekly chart, we haven't seen this zone break for really since July of 2019. And before that, it was a major level of support. So I think we could see a possible retest here. What we could see is a potential head and shoulders as well. And if you don't see it I'll point it out for you here. This is the first shoulder, and then you see the head, and if we see the shoulder right here, that's the opportunity, and then that could be the breakout zone right around here at 50 cents, right? We don't exactly know. But overall, I think XRP is a little bit too late. I think NEO is a good opportunity. I think Chainlink is a good opportunity right now for alts. We're waiting on BTC to break the symmetrical triangle, and Ethereum, if you have not already entered it, if you're too late, if you didn't take the advice, if you didn't take the trade, that's unfortunate, but there definitely will be opportunities in the future, I think. But the two ones I'm looking at most is NEO and Chainlink. So thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you have any questions, concerns, suggestions, definitely drop them in the comments section below. If you found this video informative, educational, entertaining, and you overall enjoyed it, it would be great if you give this a thumbs up and subscribe so we know to make more videos like this. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you had a great weekend, and hopefully you have a profitable next week trading. Thank you for watching, everyone. Until next time, have a good one.